think you'll weigh?
When I walk in the ring,
Yeah.
With or without the ankle monitor on?
I probably that's corny. That's super corny. Uh, I don't know how much I'll weigh.
And the handcuffs too.
Huh? What are you talking about, fam?
How do you win this fight?
That outfit trash. For real. That outfit is garbage.
Thank
And that hairstyle. Anybody that ever rocked a mohawk is a clown. We all know this. Anybody rocked a mohawk. Name
You
them.
want to see clowns? You want to see clowns? Gervonta, you're the clown, buddy. You're the clown, Gervonta. Any man who puts his hands on a woman is the clown.
Now, since we on this, if I put my hands on females or anything like that, right? If I put my hands on
Talk about
females or
fucking
anything
clown.
like that, you know how many female? Like, come on, it will be mad. You see how when I don't even want to bring up nobody thing, what's the name about that? But P Diddy, when things got like that, no, listen. When one female did a charge, it was mad females coming out, right? So if I hit a female, right, wouldn't it be mad other females? Like I ain't been just with one female. Like I'm 30 years old. Like let's be real. I've been with more than one female. Wouldn't mad females come out and say something about me hitting them?
Gervonta Tank Davis has finally lost his cool, snapping back at Jake Paul during their recent face-to-face press conference for the highly anticipated upcoming fight. The fiery exchange instantly went viral, flooding social media feeds, sports headlines, and boxing talk shows everywhere. But this time, it wasn't the usual back-and-forth trash talk we've come to expect. Tank made it personal.
Jake, big fan of yours. I just want to say what you're doing for boxing is phenomenal. You're putting it on the map. What you're doing with the ladies, with the Mike Tyson and UFC
I'll
fighters.
swing on you right now.
Nobody. And I love you too, Gervonta. I'm a big fan of yours. But I just wanted to tell this man what he's doing for boxing and putting it on the map. And I just want to take my hat off to you.
Get the mic from him.
So,
Get the mic from him, for real.
what I want to say is, if you beat Tank, people are going to say you beat a smaller man. So what's the victory here?
Man, honestly, people always have something to say. It's old news. Keep talking. At the end of the day, you're here. So whatever anyone has to say, just keep on saying it, please. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all.
Things got messy this week after a Miami media event when a backstage interview turned into a full-blown confrontation. Witnesses say words flew, and it almost went physical before security stepped in. Jake laughed and hurled insults, calling Tank a little man chasing big checks. And Tank, furious, closed the distance and warned him, "Say that again when the cameras are off." Clips of the blow-up blew up online within hours. In one viral clip, Tank snaps, "I don't care about your followers. You talk too much. This ain't YouTube. This is boxing." Jake replied the only way he knows how, with more noise, claiming Tank will care when he gets knocked out in front of the world. Security separated them before a punch landed. But people around Tank say something shifted. The calm, almost distant fighter fans had seen for months suddenly looked dangerous again. A team source told reporters Tank's done playing nice. He's fighting to remind everyone who he is. Jake, meanwhile, went live on Instagram and framed the whole thing as a win, saying he'd stirred Tank's emotions and that an angry fighter is an easy fighter to beat. That confidence might play well on social media, but underestimating a fired-up Tank could be the kind of mistake that costs you more than likes.
How is training for something like this? Obviously, smaller guy. How was this in the training aspect, Jake?
Yeah, just a lot of punching down, practicing, hitting below my knees, and a lot of speed.
He warming up
We're
now.
sparring.
That's what we need.
We're sparring.
Warm up.
Some
I know
8-year-olds. I got
if
the
I find
8-year-olds
out
in there.
anything- If I find out anything, I'm going to beat your ass and I'm going to beat Jaden Love ass. On my mama, I'm going to beat both of y'all ass. On my mama. And he laughing. He know. He laughing.
What are you talking about?
What
does he have to do with this?
Let anything. You know what I'm talking about. Let anything. No, I don't have to say it right now. Don't worry about it. I don't got to say it up here. Let anything happen. And I'm going to show you and him. Bet.
Even with the massive size gap between them, Jake standing tall at 6 feet 1 inch and around 200 pounds, and Tank just 5 feet 5 inches, weighing in at 135. Nobody in the boxing world doubts what Tank brings to the ring. He's smaller, sure, but his lightning-fast hands, deadly accuracy, and ability to close distance in a blink make him one of the most dangerous fighters pound for pound. Tank's made a career out of turning size disadvantages into highlight reel knockouts, and that's exactly why so many believe Jake might have bitten off more than he can chew.
Jake Paul, I think when he weighed in for Mike Tyson, was 227 pounds. That is, if I'm not mistaken, a 92-pound weight difference. Almost a 100-pound weight difference. It's insane. That is called one thing. That's called being a bully.
Tank isn't just walking into this fight at a disadvantage. He's walking in with a plan. He knows he's the smaller man, but he's also the smarter one. This isn't just another payday for him. This is personal, a statement to the world that size doesn't equal skill. And if you've seen his latest training clips, you know he's dead serious. The footage coming out of his Miami camp is intense. Tank's been sparring with heavyweights, not guys his own size. Heavyweights, just to match Jake Paul's power and reach. People inside the gym say he's looking sharper and more explosive than ever. His longtime coach, Calvin Ford, even told insiders, "We're training for a giant. We're not fighting a boxer. We're fighting a billboard with gloves." That line says it all. They're treating Jake like a walking promotion, not a real threat. And when a fighter like Tank starts training like that, you know he's about to prove something big. That right there shows Tank isn't taking Jake lightly for even a moment. He knows exactly what he's up against, and he's preparing like a man who refuses to be caught off guard. While he's putting in the work, grinding day and night to adapt to Jake's size and power, Jake's camp seems focused on what they do best, running their mouths. The press clips, interviews, and online jabs keep rolling in, but behind the noise, it's clear who's really locked in. Tank's training speaks louder than Jake's words ever could. And if Jake thinks this is just another show, he might be walking straight into the most painful lesson of his career.
My only concern is, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's 2 pounds away from Jake. He fights in 10s. Tank fighting 8s, so he losing 4 ounces. So my thing is, I said, they said, put Tank in 8s, put him in 10s. That makes the fight more interesting. You know what I'm saying? And we'll go from there because I understand. And I brought that question up to one of his handlers. They was, no, we don't want to do no mismatch. It's supposed to be an expedition. What, now y'all want the wins and the loss. You know what I'm saying? All these prescriptions, but you want to be great. Being great is really pushing the envelope. You know what I'm saying? Tank don't really care, So when I brought this up, he said, dang, facts. You know what I'm saying? So, again, he can weigh the 10s and we weigh the 8s. Then we got to fight.
J. Leon Love, Jake Paul's trainer and a former Mayweather fighter, recently told TMZ that Tank can talk all he wants, but Jake's locked in and taking this fight seriously. According to Love, Jake's been sparring with top-level pros, undergoing full USADA testing, and showing up to camp in the best shape of his life. To prove it, Jake even dropped fresh training footage featuring sparring sessions with Shakur Stevenson's former partners. A clear sign he's preparing for speed, not just power. It's his way of saying he's not underestimating Tank's quickness or skill. But as fans know, training for speed and actually keeping up with someone like Tank Davis are two very different things.
For all of you Karens who accuse me of being on steroids as the reason for winning all of my fights, we have the strictest drug testing possible for this match. U.S. Anti-Doping Agency. Random drug tests at any moment. Oh look, they're here now. Hey USADA, me in the car. Looking good. see if you're on steroids. Clean as a whistle, contrary to what they say.
But fans aren't exactly convinced. Sure, Jake Paul's come a long way since his YouTube days. He's picked up wins against big names like Anderson Silva, Nate Diaz, and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. But let's be real, none of those guys are anywhere near the level of Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Tank isn't just another fighter. He's a different breed. Faster, sharper, and dangerous from the opening bell. Jake's greatest weapon might be his size, but that only matters from a distance. The moment Tank slips inside that reach, all those extra pounds stop meaning anything. And once he's in your range, that's where he thrives, turning small openings into brutal knockouts. So the real question is, can Jake survive when Tank finally gets close enough to land clean? Now, let's get into what actually lit the fuse between these two, according to people who were in the room. The whole argument started when Jake crossed the line and began bringing up Tank's past, his legal troubles, the domestic violence accusations, and even the time he spent behind bars. It wasn't just typical fight promotion or playful trash talk anymore. Jake hit personal territory. For Tank, those are wounds he's worked hard to move past, and hearing them thrown in his face in front of cameras was a final straw. That's when the tension boiled over, and what was supposed to be a media event turned into a personal war.
Yeah, in terms of sparring, we got some great guys coming in. Some really experienced southpaws that are smaller. I think Montana Love is coming in. Shakur Stevenson wants to come in. Jermaine Ortiz. We're going to hit up Erickson Lubin, some of these guys. So we're just going to bring in a plethora of fighters that are fast, quick, shifty southpaws.
And here's where things get even more interesting. Floyd Mayweather, Tank's former mentor and one of the greatest boxers to ever do it, has stepped back into the picture after years of tension between the two. Out of nowhere, Floyd showed up at one of Tank's training sessions, surprising everyone and instantly grabbing headlines. People close to the camp say the two have quietly reconnected, putting the past behind them for now.
What do you make of Tank versus Gervonta?
It's a joke. It's a joke, Yeah, it's a joke. It's going to be like Mike Tyson. It's going to be a sparring match, and after they're going to just steal everybody's money. Same thing.
You going to watch it?
No.
Tank isn't chasing influencer fame or viral moments. He's here to restore order in a sport that's become more about views and victories. For him, this fight isn't about social media numbers or trending clips. It's about respect. And that's what makes this entire argument even more explosive. The tension between Tank and Jake isn't just about two fighters talking trash. It's about what each of them represents. On one side, you got Jake Paul, the loud, confident outsider who built his boxing career through YouTube and controversy. On the other, you have Gervonta "Tank" Davis, a real fighter from the trenches of Baltimore who earned everything the hard way. When those two worlds collide, it's more than a fight. It's a clash of cultures, pride, and legacy.
Again, we two guys from different worlds that's still on the same that one goal, and that's to make sure our family, our kids, and everything is okay. So, shout out to Jake Paul for coming with me and making this event happen, and his team, and what is MP Promotions, Netflix, Al Heyman, everybody.
Turns out he can't read just like Floyd.
Oh, MP. Oh,
You got it, champ.
I'm not worried about that.
You got it, champ.
People talk all day. It's cool. I like that. No, listen. When one female did a charge, it was mad females coming out, right? So if I hit a female, right, wouldn't it be mad other females? Like I ain't been just with one female. Like I'm 30 years old. Like let's be real. I've been with more than one female. Wouldn't mad females come out and say something about me hitting them? No.
Ever since that heated incident on Lamont Road earlier this year, critics haven't held back. They've been calling Tank washed up, unfocused, and even lazy, claiming the fame and money have made him lose that relentless drive that once defined his career. Some said he was distracted, that his hunger was gone, and that the old Tank, the one who used to tear through opponents like a storm, no longer existed. But this upcoming fight and the fire we're seeing from him now tell a different story. It looks like Tank's out to silence every critic and prove that the fighter who once ruled the lightweight division is still very much alive and more dangerous than ever.
Jake is big. Tank has a lot of skill, but I don't think he's the same Tank that we saw the most incredible knockouts. We saw him, Lamont Roach performed great. They went to draw, and, I just don't know. And Tank walked away. I don't know if he loves it enough to beat a guy who outweighs him by 80 to 100 pounds.
They said he was finished, that he'd become more focused on making headlines and tightening his hand wraps. Critics claimed the fame had softened him, that he cared more about the spotlight than the sport. But what they didn't realize is that sometimes a fighter goes quiet not because he's lost his edge, but because he's preparing to strike. And judging by the fire Tank's showing now, it's clear he's not chasing attention. He's chasing redemption.
It would just be sad that if Tank Davis' boxing career, real boxing career, championship is over because, of the Jake Paul fight. It would be sad for boxing. I don't know for that to be the case, but if he make, in excess of 30, 40 million.
They reported $40 million.
I don't know what kind. I don't know what he does after that. Does he come back to boxing and defend those titles? I don't know, bro. So I don't know if could this be the last time we see Tank Davis in a real championship fight? Was Lamont Roach the last fight we see of him like that? I don't know. But if it is, that would be a tough pill to swallow for boxing fans.
But seeing Tank snap like this, seeing that raw emotion and anger surface again, might be exactly the wake-up call he needed. It's like something deep inside him has been reignited. One of the sparring partners even told ES News that old Tank's back, the one who fights like he's got something to prove. And that's a version of Tank that built his legacy, the one who doesn't just fight to win, but to destroy any doubt in the room. The scary part for Jake Paul is he might have been the one to bring that version back. By pushing the wrong buttons, he may have just unleashed a fighter who's not only more dangerous, but more determined than ever.
Tank Davis is not the face of boxing because he doesn't fight often. He fights once a year. And he's probably one of the best talents in the world. I love Tank Davis. I love watching him fight. I love when he goes in the ring and just demonstrates power and speed and he doesn't give a shit. I love that. But he has to fight more often. We want to see Tank fight 3-4 times a year. Tank Davis, I dare you to break my record. 5 world title fights in 1 year. Let's go. You think he's lost?
For all of Jake Paul's marketing genius, he might have just made the most dangerous mistake of his career, turning what should have been a prize fight into something deeply personal. Instead of focusing on training, Jake's been busy doing what he does best, trolling for engagement. He's been flooding social media with memes, fake press releases, and even dropped a shirt that reads, "Tank's too tiny." It's classic Jake Paul, loud, cocky, and designed to go viral. But this time, even some of his own fans are starting to say he's crossed the line. Jake's playing with fire, and if Tank's truly angry, that fire could turn into a full-blown inferno. But the drama didn't end at the argument. Right after the confrontation went viral, Netflix reportedly called an emergency meeting with both camps. Executives are said to be concerned that things might spiral out of control before fight night, especially after Tank's chilling promise to end Jake before the bell even rings.
If they do it for real, Tank is highly capable of taking Jake Paul out. To Tank's credit, I'm interested in the Tank Jake Paul exhibition because I know for a fact Tank is capable, although he's small, he's capable of knocking Jake Paul out just like Jake Paul probably capable of knocking him out because he's so much bigger.
So you believe that?
I believe
no
that
doubt about it.
Without a question, if they fight for real. If they don't, if they say, no, well, we're going to take care of Jake, just want him to go through and learn more, then he might not knock him out. You understand me? But if they do it for real, Tank is highly capable of taking Jake Paul out. If it's a boxer and a person that don't box, and they got such a big weight gap, now that makes it kind of even on the exhibition scale. You feel me? So now we want to see...
One got experience and one got weight and size.
You feel me? So now it makes us want to see what's going to happen with this. He's bigger, but he has experience. That makes for a good exhibition because everybody wants to know what's going to happen.
And that's exactly what makes this fight so captivating. It's not just a simple matchup between a boxer and an influencer. It's a battle of ego versus experience. On one side, you have Jake Paul, a showman who thrives on attention and chaos, a master promotion who's built an empire by daring people to doubt him. On the other, you have Gervonta Tank Davis, a disciplined fighter forged through years of real wars in the ring, a man who doesn't need to talk because his fists speak louder than words. This isn't just a fight for bragging rights. It's a fight for identity, for legacy, and for respect.
It's kind of weird because Jake Paul is extremely bigger than Tank, and I mean, but with it being a exhibition, it makes sense. It's fine. He got a big name that he's going to be fighting, but I mean, it really makes no sense because he's going to be weighing over 200 and some pounds. Tank's going to probably be weighing maybe at the most 147, 150. So I don't even understand why the fight is happening.
Jake Paul's fighting for legitimacy, to prove he belongs in the same conversation as real fighters. Tank Davis, on the other hand, is fighting for pride, to remind the world that boxing isn't a game and respect isn't earned through followers or views. After their explosive altercation, both men are running high on emotion, and that's what makes this next chapter unpredictable. Jake's team insists everything's under control, calling it business as usual, but Tank's silence tells a different story. He hasn't posted a word since the argument. No tweets, no interviews, no jokes, just pure focus. And anyone who's followed his career knows what that means. When Tank goes quiet, it's never a good sign for whoever's standing across from him. As his coach once said, Tank doesn't bark, he bites. And when he does, the boxing world feels it.
Everybody knows Tank Davis is fighting Jake Paul, crossover matchup on steroids. Talk to us about it. What you think?
That's all it is, man. But it's good for him. I'm happy for him. You know, everybody wants to do that, man. If you can go rob the bank and not get in trouble, why not, man? Why not?